Good evening, class 11. Welcome to your online education class. We were discussing the non-formal education, the three forms of education, and non-formal education. We have learned what is non-formal education, what are its characteristics, and today we are going to start with different types of non-formal education that we will do from the book directly. Go to page 148. See, what we have seen, non-formal education is providing us education beyond the boundary of the school, and it is also different from informal system of education. Because why? Because it is a little bit systematic and organized, and it is not a random learning, isn't it? It is there's a pre-planning, there's some pre-observation, then pre-explanation about the means how the process will be conducted. Everything is like that. Means it is not incidental. Suddenly you are learning something, seeing something, experiencing something. In case of informal education, what we have seen, it is not like that. It is a little bit different, and we are a little bit systematic over here. There's no such fixed syllabus is there, but there are some norms and rules and regulations which are to be followed. Here gathered or together means group activity is being appreciated, and there's always a fruitful result of it. Now today we will see how in different way we can provide, or what are the different types of non-formal education. First is remedial education. Every nation makes arrangement for formal education for children. Children receive general education up to a certain age. So, as we are discussing, we have discussed in formal education that all education is within a limit. After that, you proceed to the next part. Owing to adverse circumstance, many children sometimes fail to receive further education. So, facing some problem, they are unable to receive education. These deprived children get the opportunity for further education through the non-formal system of education. This particular system of education is called remedial education. So, what is remedial education? Number one, remedial education is here the students of every nation, every state, they are getting education according to their age, but in some cases, unavoidable circumstances, facing to some circumstances, they are unable to continue their studies. In that case, non-formal education is providing the children the special type of education, that is called remedial education. Next is continuation education. Lack of timely opportunity sometimes stands in the way of being educated through the formal education. So, what is here it is telling, lack of timely opportunity means maybe one have missed a time that he should get opportunity to start his education or to continue his education, but due to some situation or due to some lack of opportunity, utilizing of opportunities, sometimes students are unable to take education. The deprived students can continue their studies and receive higher level of education through non-formal education. So, these type of students, they are getting education in the same way, but non-formally they are receiving, and they can get higher level of education through non-formal education. This form of non-formal education is called continuation education. Here, why the name is given continuation? Because though they are stopped by the help of formal education, due to the formal education, in the process of formal education, they are continuing their education through non-formal way. So, non-formal education is providing them with their continuation to continue the studies what they have learned. Next is vocational education. Vocational education, we are very much aware about it. Vocation means profession, which is helping the individual to be more professional, to know about the profession more, and how to use the materials, how to get more production through less utilization of materials, isn't it? So, workers who are acquainted with the old system of production require training to acquire new techniques. So, they are being trained to use the new technique so that production becomes more. Less material, less time, and the production is more. That is the main benefit of a business or a main benefit of the industry. So, non-formal education which helps in increasing knowledge and skill is called vocational education. So, the old worker, suppose in a company, in a factory, a person or an old worker is working for 25 years and he is lifelong, he is using the old way, and the newcomers, those who have joined newly in the industry, they are using new products and they are habituated with that, and their production is also more, and thus what is happening, the old poor person is losing his job. And that is why these ITIs and these these vocational trainings are there, those who are providing the students with different sorts of new process through which they can the production becomes more. Now, what is the reason behind that the old person is not willing to learn? Because he is not aware about that function, isn't it? He is not aware about the way they can continue, isn't it? And that is why he is ignoring the new knowledge. But the vocational training, the vocational education will provide the individual with new to newer knowledge, and that will help them to enhance their professional skill or professional ability. Next is education for personal growth. Now you know each individual is born with some need and requirement. Now personal growth and personal development means what? It is fulfilling its need and development. See what it is written over here. As a social agency, non-formal education considers measures for the development of people in general. Development of people according to their individual difference is important aim of education. Now, how the country will develop? With individual potentials, with individual effort. But how this individual effort will be applied? If they improve themselves from their own, if they improve individually. And thus, what is happening? If in case of education, in case of teaching, in case of learning, if individual attention is being provided, then there is a high chance of improvement, isn't it? And that will help the individual to grow personally. So it is telling that as individual differences are there, it is important to put emphasis on that. And depending on that, non-formal education can help an individual to develop according to his interest, aptitudes and abilities. So what is his nature, what is his interest, what is his capability? Depending on that, non-formal education will teach the person more about the topic and will help the individual to grow personally. So personal growth means when one individual is growing more and developing himself from the inner side of the heart. Means he is knowing more, he is interested more, and thus he is enriched with knowledge. Finally, education for social responsibility. Now see, being a social part of the society, being a part of the state, we are also having some responsibilities to fulfill. Society undergoes changes. Responsibility of each citizen is changed along with the change of the society. We have to commit that. We have to agree with that. That yes, the society needs this now. Now, at present, we need distancing. So, that is our headache also. When we are getting infected, we are trying to protect others from our infection, isn't it? If I am infected, then I will try to protect myself from others, so that rather to protect others from myself, so that they can be safe from me, isn't it? Because I am infected, I am with the problem. So I am adjusting along with the changes of the society. If an infected person will roam here and there, then what will happen? Everyone will be getting infection from that person, and that is not required, is not desirable. So nowadays, for the societal requirement, we are maintaining the distance. So non-formal education is aimed in keeping with the level of his own social development, aimed at enabling person to adjust effectively with the change of the society, in keeping with the level of his own social development. So, here what is happening? The individual is paying attention to the societal needs, to the societal demand, and according to that he is also changing himself. And that education, that teaching, that learning, where we have learnt about COVID-19, what USA is facing, COVID-20, the next attack. From where they have learned from the experience. There's no school and such any institutes are developed for teaching COVID, isn't it? We all have heard and we have learned everything. We are experiencing, we are learning, we are listening to the news programs, we are searching YouTube for the everyday, day-to-day updates, and we are updating ourselves as well. So what is the process? The process is the non-formal education. The non-formal education means a group of people may be discussing, a group of welfare associates are discussing the topic, and we all general people are listening. So these are the activities which are done by the social group of people, which we can tell as non-formal education. So these all are this whatever I have discussed from book. You will go to page 148 and you will get all the details over there, and you will get your PDF as well. So you start learning, you see if you have any problem, let me know on the day of your live class. So this is all about non-formal education. In the next class we will start chapter 9, but we will continue with chapter 9, and we will start with mass education as a informal system of education. Thank you.